Jeffrey has a feature this morning,
Oh.
and it is on being a shade tree mechanic.
That's right.
Now, we all kind of got our own idea of what that means, but Jeff is going to explain it to us.
Okay, we're going to get that started here right now. And what it is what it is.
What it is what it is.
What is a
It's
shade tree
football.
mechanic? Growing up around garages, cars, car people, the term shade tree mechanic got thrown around quite a bit. I'm going to go back to this shot here, guys, because my camera's all messed up. Time out.
Your camera is messed up?
Yeah.
Well, don't worry about the camera. Let's just hear about the story.
Okay. A shade tree mechanic is someone who works on vehicles in a driveway, home garage. Hold on, Don. My computer's messed up. Time out.
Well,
you wanna move on?
But remember, this is an audio show, so
I know, but I'm in a commercial right now, so it's messed up. My bad. Time out. Talk amongst yourselves.
well, we'll just wait for you.
Okay.
Because
It's not
we're
working.
with that kind of show.
But we have an extra hour today, so take your time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
how
can
did
move
the,
you back to the fourth hour if you'd
the
like.
fifth hour? How did the phrase shade tree mechanic migrate in its origination? Well, the term became popular in the 60s and 70s and quite literally referred to the mechanic working on cars in the driveway underneath the shade of a tree. This was a time when mechanics could fit almost anything in a car with basic tools in their toolbox. It seems that people are always looking for a local shade tree mechanic to work on because of their cars and the high prices at the dealerships and all the other garages that are around you. The fact is, a shade tree mechanic is a very skilled person, and they have a lot of knowledge about cars. Some shade tree mechanics just work on their own vehicles or maybe do work for friends. Many, however, are skilled mechanics doing work part-time from the home for extra money.
On the side, sure.
On the side, yeah. The only way to find out if your local shade tree mechanic is any good, get some personal references. Talk to them about what they do to the car. You might be disappointed and regret it, but do your research. There's things you can do and find out. Is a shade tree mechanic trustworthy? No doubt there are some crooks in the world and rob you blind, but most people come in contact, they're car people. They're hardworking, they're honest folks, just trying to do things right. How much does a shade tree mechanic charge? Well, hourly rates for a mechanic vary depending on the location as a shop or an independent. But there's no way to determine what a shade tree mechanic charges, so it should be less than a local repair shop anyways. You can certainly make a good income being a shade tree mechanic if you're good at what you do. If you're going to do it as a business, there's additional business expenses. You got to get licenses. You got to make sure if you're doing it in the neighborhood, your Karen association, whether they're allowed to do it.
Association.
Properly disposing of all the waste fluids.
No, yeah, right down the drain. If you're a hobby shade tree mechanic working on your own vehicle or those are your friends, you probably don't need to be insured, but you take a chance, you've got to risk that. Running an auto repair shop, it involves other things as well. I mean, you got to pay for insurance and all that good stuff. How do you become a shade tree mechanic? Well, you start working on cars.
Find a tree.
Find a tree. And if you're good at what you do and you charge a fair price, the people will come to you. Now, I've got a shade tree mechanic guy down the end of my street. Doesn't matter what it is. He could be tubbing it out and putting an LS in it. It is a bottle of rum and $40. That's all he charges me. So it's good
Really?
stuff. Yeah.
Well, see, and I always thought shade tree mechanic had something to do with a tree that had a strong enough branch that you could hang a come along on it
that's the
and
shade.
lift the engine out of
there are
it.
many-
And I will
And
tell you,
something-
one time we heard a story for months. We went up to Kirbyville, out in the middle of nowhere, because we heard that there was a car out there, a Hemi car out there, that the guy was selling the engine out of. We got there. This Hemi, a 426 Hemi, was literally hanging
In
from
the
a
tree.
come
Branch of a
along
tree.
in
From
the
a Joshua
tree.
tree.
That's what they used for an A-frame to pull the motor out.
Yeah. Well, that's that.
And it was still hanging there.
It was still hanging there. It was great. We just lowered it back down in the bed of my truck and we took it home.
The story kind of
Well, I've been
remains
to
the same.
Kirbyville. You have to plan to get there.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
not
we
a place
had-
you're accidentally going to go.
No. It was down dirt roads.
The story remains the same for shade tree, no matter what it is. But the pictures are different. I mean, there's guys full of grease hanging from trees and all, like you said, engines coming from different parts.
Well,
There
cool.
you go. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
There was a little technical difficulty, but it is technical.
Did you get it all fixed?
No, but we're good.
Okay.